At the end of 2022, half of the Formula 1 grid is out of contract going into 2023. So today, we are skipping 2022 talks and going straight into my 2023 driver lineup predictions. My name's Chris, welcome back to CFRacing, and enjoy the video. Hello everybody, what's going on? Chris here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be predicting the 2023 driver lineups in Formula 1. So with that being said, let's start with the world champions, Mercedes. So in 2023, I have no change at Mercedes, as I still have Lewis Hamilton partnered alongside George Russell. I think their 2022 season's going to be good, and I think both drivers will be retained for 2023. But I do believe if Lewis Hamilton wins his 8th world title, I do think he will retire from the sport, but I don't think he's going to win his 8th title in 2022, so that's why I believe he's staying. But if Lewis Hamilton was to retire at the end of 2022 with his 8th title, I think either Nick de Vries, Pierre Gasly, or Esteban Ocon would be the suitable replacements for Lewis Hamilton. But for right now, I have Lewis Hamilton and George Russell as my driver lineup for Mercedes in 2022. For Red Bull in 2023, I still have Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. This may be slightly controversial, as many people think maybe Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, or Yuki Tsunoda might get the Red Bull seat at that time, but I still have Sergio Perez, as I think he's going to have a very solid 2022 season. Not like Max Verstappen caliber, but I also don't think the Red Bull is going to be the number 1 car or the number 2 car in 2022, but I think he'll have a respectable, top, not like top tier, but definitely mid top 10 season for Sergio Perez. So I think that'll be good enough to retain Sergio Perez for one more season, get the development going of that Red Bull going into 2023 and 2024, and I think they'll retain Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen going into 2023. But I mean, they could very much promote Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, or Alex Albon, depending on how their 2022 seasons go. So we'll see what happens, but this is what I have right now going into 2023. Ferrari is probably the easiest team to predict going into 2023, as they have Charles Leclerc, who signed up for, I believe it's 2025, and then they have Carlos Sainz, who is another incredibly talented driver. He beat Charles in his first season, and you guys know how much I rate Charles, so Ferrari, I really don't see changing going into 2023, unless something really bad happens in 2022, like there's some driver fights or something, which I don't see happening. Leclerc and Sainz were really good in 2020, or in 2021, besides in maybe Saudi Arabia, where Carlos was like, don't do this, Charles. But other than that, their driver lineup was incredible, and I think they had the best driver lineup going into 2022. So why not have that going into 2023 and retain Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz? But hey, Mika is lurking around there, so maybe he'll get the Ferrari seat in 2024, 2025. Who knows? We'll see. Next up, we have McLaren, and once again, this is another very easy one to predict, as I think they're going to keep the same driver lineup. I have Lando Norris partnered alongside Daniel Ricardo. I don't see this changing unless Daniel Ricardo just decides to not perform again like he did in 2021, but I really don't think he's not going to perform next season. I think he's going to do quite well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins a race as well like he did last year. Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, another very good driver pairing, and just say they were to replace somebody, it probably would be Daniel Ricciardo. I don't see them replacing Norris anytime soon. And if Ricciardo does have a bad season and they have to replace him, I really don't know who they put in that car. I know there's talks of Pato O'Ward, but I would not have him in a Formula 1 car instead of Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo's been in the sport since 2011? He knows how Formula 1 works. He's been there for a decade. I would rather have Ricciardo anyway, but I mean, Pato O'Ward could be a suitable replacement for Ricciardo if he doesn't perform next season. Next up, we have Alpine, and this is actually the first change that I have so far in terms of the 2023 grid, and I have Esteban Ocon and Oscar Piastri driving for Alpine in 2023. This could be a very underrated driver pairing, and like I said before, if Lewis Hamilton does retire, I think Ocon, Gasly, or de Vries will go to Mercedes, and then if they were to choose Ocon, then 100% they'll probably keep Fernando Alonso, and then obviously they're going to throw in Oscar Piastri. But if Lewis Hamilton doesn't retire, which I think is going to happen, I don't think Lewis Hamilton is going to retire at the end of 2022. I think it's going to be Esteban Ocon and Oscar Piastri. Not because Fernando Alonso is not performing well. I think he'll perform completely fine. It's just that he's 41 or 40 and Oscar Piastri's like 21. So there's kind of like a 20-year difference here, and I would rather have 20 years of Oscar Piastri than like maybe 1 to 2 more years of like good performing Fernando Alonso. So that's why I threw Oscar Piastri in here, but I could definitely see Ocon and Alonso even continuing next season as well. Maybe we'll have Alonso and Piastri, and then Ocon will take like a test roll or something. I'm not sure, but right now I have Ocon and Piastri for 2023. After Alpine, we have AlphaTauri, and this might shock a few people, but I have retained the same driver lineup for the 3rd season in a row. We have Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. And once again, I think most of this comes down to if Lewis Hamilton retires or not. And if Lewis Hamilton retires, then I could see Pierre Gasly going somewhere else. But I really don't see Yuki, unless he doesn't perform in 2022, going anywhere. But I think both are going to have good seasons. And I think 2023 will probably be the last year that both of these drivers, certainly Pierre Gasly, but I think 2023 might also be the last year that Yuki Tsunoda might be in this team, because there are a bunch of Red Bull juniors in F2 right now, like Dennis Hauger, Liam Lawson, Yuri Vips, Daruvula. There's so many of them, and Red Bull probably wants to promote at least 1 or 2 of them into Formula 1. And I mean, if Perez doesn't leave, then there's really no point in promoting Gasly or Tsunoda, but Pierre Gasly deserves a good team, so I don't know if he's going to go somewhere if some other driver retires or something. But for now, I don't see them moving, but they very much could. But right now, I have Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda still in AlphaTauri for 2023, but you can certainly throw other drivers in there, maybe even Alex Albon as well. You could throw Albon, Dennis Hauger, Lawson, Vips, Daruvula, who knows. This is just a shot in the dark, but I see these 2 guys still staying. After AlphaTauri, we have Aston Martin, and I, once again, don't see this driver lineup staying. I still have Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. And a lot of people are saying that Sebastian Vettel is going to retire at the end of 2022, but why the heck would he do that? The Aston Martin project was a 5-year project, and Sebastian Vettel is only, what is he, 34? He's still got like 2, 3, maybe even 4, like decent, even good years left in the sport. So I see no reason why Sebastian Vettel is going to retire. And come on, Lawrence Stroll owns Aston Martin. He's not going to kick his son out of the team. So I have Lance Stroll staying at Aston Martin. But if Sebastian Vettel does retire, there's a seat open at Aston Martin. And I think that seat will probably go to Pierre Gasly. But it can really go to anybody. There's a bunch of drivers. Maybe Alpine would want to throw Oscar Piastri in that team over there. Or maybe Ferrari would want to throw like Mick Schumacher in Aston Martin. I don't know what will happen, but I think it's going to be Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll staying at Aston Martin in 2023. Maybe even 2024 and 2025. I'm not too sure. We'll see what happens and how good Aston Martin really is. Because if they're not performing well, then I really don't think Seb will have that much in like want to stay, I guess. So we'll see what happens. After Williams, we have Alfa Romeo, and once again, this may be a little controversial, but I have Valtteri Bottas staying, no surprise there, and I still have Guan Yu Zhou at Alfa Romeo. And I know Théo Pourchaire is waiting in the wings, but what is he, 17 years old, maybe 18 now? You can give him another full season in F2 to really hone his skills and just say he wins the 2022 F2 title. You can give him a development role in 2023 and then put him in that seat in 2024. I see nothing wrong with that. He's very young, needs more time to develop. It's kind of like a young Max Verstappen-esque scenario, and we all know how good Max Verstappen did when he was 16 and 17 in Formula 1. So I have Valtteri Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou staying with Alfa Romeo. I think the money that Guan Yu Zhou is bringing in is going to be very good for that Alfa Romeo Sauber team, and Bottas will do a great job developing the car for the future, and maybe even Théo Pourchaire. I don't know how long the actual Alfa Romeo name is going to stay in Formula 1. Hopefully it stays for a while, because I absolutely love their liveries and I love the Alfa Romeo brand. But I have Bottas and Zhou. I don't think they're going to challenge for titles anytime soon, but I have both of them, and hopefully the money and the experience of Bottas and the money of Zhou will help the team perform better. So yeah, that's all I can see. I don't see it changing anytime soon unless Bottas retires out of nowhere, but I doubt that'll happen. Next up is probably my biggest shot in the dark or biggest like bold prediction out of anything on this list. And for Williams in 2023, I have Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. This is like I said, this is a real big shot in the dark. Like I think Albon's going to perform really well in 2022, and I think Latifi will do good as well. But I'm really banking on Logan Sargent having a very strong 2022 F2 season, and I think if he comes either first, second, or third place, he'll get promoted to that Williams. I mean, Williams, they do need the investment with the Safina and Lavazza money from Nicholas Latifi, but I don't think Nicholas Latifi is like super top tier talent, and I just think Williams could do better with another driver. So that's why I have Logan Sargent and Alex Albon in the team. But I wouldn't be surprised if they give Logan Sargent maybe 1 or 2 more years to develop, and then you can continue to have Nicholas Latifi in the Williams seat. But if they still want to drop Nicholas Latifi, they can definitely add a driver from like Pierre Gasly's caliber or something, or maybe they'll pick up like Sergio Perez. I'm not too sure, but right now I have Alexander Albon and Logan Sargent, although I'm not too sold on this, but I think it is maybe most likely out of anything so far. Or who knows, they'll keep with Latifi. I don't know. I'd be okay with that because I like Latifi as he is Canadian like myself. And last but certainly not least, we have Haas, and this may be a surprise. I mean, it's probably not a surprise, but I don't have the driver lineup changing for 2023. I was really contemplating on swapping Mick and Guan Yu Zhou, so Mick would go to Alfa Romeo, and then Guan Yu Zhou would go to Haas. And I mean, that could probably, like, I know the driver lineup would not be good at all. Like, they have a young Guan Yu Zhou and Nikita Mazepin, but the amount of money that that team is going to have to, like, build resources and develop is going to be a lot of money, and that could be really good for Haas. But I decided to stay with Mick and Nikita, and I mean, no other reason than I think it's not a great driver pairing, but at least they know the team, I would say, and I just think both. I mean, Mick definitely deserves a Formula 1 seat, and there's no way that Nikita Mazepin's leaving anytime soon. And plus, Mick does bring a bunch of financial backing, as his dad is Michael Schumacher, and he has one of his brands, like not one of his brands, but like a brand that follows him, and Mazepin brings all of Russia's like money and stuff. So I don't see this driver lineup changing anytime soon. And yeah, I just see Haas as Nikita and Mick. So that is my last team out of all the 10. So guys, that is my 2023 driver predictions. If you do think that a lot is going to change, then let me know in the comment section down below. And please, in the comment section, let me know what is your predictions like. Do you guys think Hamilton's going to retire? If they do, then yeah, this whole grid's going to change. I think a lot will change if Hamilton retires. If he doesn't, then I think it's probably going to stay like this. I think a lot of the grid is really going to be determined on if blank driver retires or not. Like if Fernando Alonso wants to stay, I think that Alpine will probably keep him in and Piastri will stay as a reserve driver. Or maybe they'll try to get Piastri into like Alfa Romeo or Haas or something, and then maybe Guan Yu Zhou or Mick, or even, I doubt Mazepin will, but Mazepin will lose their seat. Who really knows? But guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Share with your friends. You know how it is. And with that being said, hope you all enjoyed and have a great day.